So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So, Uta's been out for a few days now. Tested her extensively, both in normal play and in PvP. So I thought I'd talk a bit about the future for Uta because obviously this month she will be boosted, and for next month she will probably have the 6 plus, so she is probably boosted next month as well. But then of course you enter the period after that, where legends aren't as useful as before and are only used like if content are catered for it, or if you're having fun, or if they're one of the best for the job, basically. So I thought we'd talk a bit about Uta and see what modes will she have a relevance in after this boosted period. So we're gonna talk about PvP, treasure map, Kizuna, mainly that. So let's get started then. We can talk a bit about PvP. I've tested her a bit, and I will say that right now, my main issue with Uta is not Uta herself. It's the fact that Cerebral is not good enough. We have Uta, we have Chopper, we have Carrot and Wanda. All of these are very new or very rare. So most people won't have any of these at high level limit break, which means that in PvP you don't really see the full potential of them yet. But really, apart from those three units, that is a pretty good core. Cerebral just lacks in everything else. Like there's really not a single good Cerebral PvP rare recruit. Like Cat is pretty decent, but he's the only one basically. And the fourth legend, like you probably saw my PvP video, I used the Legend Sengoku, and he's super boosted for these finals, but it doesn't matter. Like Cerebral doesn't need a unit like that. What Cerebral needs is something absolutely busted to go along with it, because that's what all other colors have. All other colors have busted stuff. So yeah, I don't really use Cerebral much now. They are selling not good enough, but like the kit has potential use for the future. I like to mention though that like the abilities like buffing speed, for example, isn't that relevant, and like you'd really want the FUP buffs in the abilities. It hurts a bit to not have that. And yeah, special is pretty cool, and you speed the whole theme up as well with it, and do special, and the special is pretty consistent, doesn't miss a lot. So I actually think she's really good. It's just that Cerebral doesn't really beat any meta team right now, and that's with Cerebral being super boosted for the finals. Anyway, that's enough PvP talk. Let's talk a bit about Treasure Map then, because Treasure Map is a mode where I think Uta can see use. I've seen some people say that Uta will be one of the best captains for Treasure Map, and it's true that at least if you limit break expand Uta, like there are two options: either you limit break expand Uta, or you are able to run the Vive support, the Oiran Legend. If you do that, and Uta's color or class are boosted against the mini boss, Uta will be able to be ready for final stage, which is nice. I just want to point out though with Uta's special that if you use it final stage, it is just 2.5 times attack boost and 2 times ore boost. Like, it's not bad, I'm not saying that, but it's also not like super impressive. Like, it's a bit hard to explain, but obviously it's not bad, but it could have. It's not like you get the optimal damage from like the turn 3 with the 3 times attack and 2.5 times ore boost, and you won't be able to get the super class to buff the damage further. What is really good with Uta though is of course the paralysis and special reverse. So I can definitely see that if we have like a boss where Uta is boosted and it has paralysis and or special reverse, Uta will probably be the go-to captain. I can agree with that at least. But I think that if Uta is just boosted, I don't think she's like the automatic choice to use. One issue is the fact that her superclass special is actually useless in Treasure Map. Sadly, has no use at all. And a lot of other good Treasure Map legends have super types or superclass that wave clears, and that really helps with team building, because if you bring Uta and you don't want to auto battle stage 1 and 2 or manually tap, God forbid, I'd never do that, then you don't have a choice but run something like Zoro or Caesar, which isn't awful, but it does limit team building a bit. But of course, since Uta can do a lot with resisting certain debuffs and giving attack and lore boost herself, that's not too bad. Personally though, in Treasure Map, like, limiting specials is important, so at the same time you do get 2 good buffs from her. But another thing to also consider is the fact that you're basically locked to mainly Cerebral and Striker, so you don't have the most options to build with if you use Uta, at least for other units doing damage. But it also means that Uta can be slotted in against different colors, and you just change colors for the subs to fit the boss you're facing. So yeah, I went on a bit of tandem down, but basically she will probably see use on Treasure Map, but I don't see her as one of those Treasure Map units that are used every TM or even every TM once in every 3 months. But yeah, from time to time she will be really good in Treasure Map, I'm sure. Finally, a bit of Kizuna talk, and Kizuna, you basically have to divide it into normal Kizuna and super boss Kizuna. If we're talking normal Kizuna, then Uta will probably be very good, just because, like, you have to think from my perspective, I only do one team for all for normal Kizuna basically. And captain abilities with a lot of utility are really good. And this is a pretty rare combo as well. But the main issue with like normal Kizuna is the fact that it's often like class focused or color, so you need like one specific class for all of the teams or a specific color. So it's easy to lock out Uta here, but to be fair, that's the case for every unit. And I say that if you look at Kizuna boosters in the past, the 2 most common colors, I'm pretty sure, is Cerebral and Free Spirit. And Uta is Cerebral, so she'll be able to be used when we get future Cerebral batches, for example. And of course, another very good thing with Uta, if she is boosted in Kizuna, is the fact that you can use her stage 1, and then you got attack and Orbus covered for stage 2 and 3 without doing anything at all, which is very chill. And then you can just use her superclass stage 2 and get the maximum possible buff for the final stage. If we talk superclass Kizuna, like, Uta is a striker, which is nice because the best Kizuna unit in general right now is Super Tandem Kaido, so Uta can be slotted in with him. But I don't really see her being that great versus Super Boss. At least not with current units. Like, it can change if we get more busted stuff, but like for Uta to be useful in Super Boss Kizuna, firstly, it needs to be a final stage where the boss doesn't remove debuffs, because that means you can use Uta stage 1, carry it over to stage 3. You can also use the superclass stage 2 to buff the stage 3 buff, and by doing this you will get a 3.25 times attack boost and 2.75 times ore boost. So that's pretty decent. Like, And if you pair that with Kaido, like Kaido will normally give the same ore boost, you don't lose out much. But it's more like what do you gain from Uta then? Like, sure, you get a 3.25 times attack boost, but usually other units can also help. Like the attack boosts are getting higher nowadays. And we also have the fact that Uta is cerebral superclass, and that doesn't really help Kaido, and not any other specifically good unit for Super Boss Kizuna right now. You also have the possibility to use her as a sub, but I don't see that myself personally. Like, she will probably be good for next Super Boss next month with the 6+ Uta, whatever that is. But yeah, I don't see this as a Super Boss unit, really. But I'm happy to be proven wrong. Like, when V2 Odin was released, for example, I really slept on him. I felt like he had a pretty mediocre kit. But it turned out that his kit was like basically perfect for Super Bosses. And he's basically been used in every Super Boss since release in one color, which is pretty amazing. But yeah, I don't really see Uta doing that. But of course, as always, can't ignore some extra utility in the captain. But usually that's not the biggest concern for Super Boss Kizuna. Finally, I guess we can talk a bit about Arena, but I felt like I talked about that a bit already. Like, Uta is like built for Arena with the 3 stages of buffs, easily covering stage 3, 4, and 5. And tomorrow I plan to try it out against more arenas, hybrid her up against some other good captains, maybe try some speedruns, or maybe I save that for a later video. But yeah, that's just my thoughts about Uta's place in the quotation marks meta in the future. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.